We're on a train, we're heading into New York City. We started planning this trip 6 months ago. Let me explain.
All right, so here's the situation at hand. Lindsay, my wife, is having her 30th birthday this week. For her birthday, all she wanted to do was go into New York City and see a Broadway show. Now, if you know us or if you follow my YouTube channel, you know that we are obsessed with Hamilton. Problem is, you can't get Hamilton tickets. They're always sold out, and even if they're not, they're $1 million. It's crazy. So right away I said, listen, you know that I would love to go see Hamilton on Broadway as much as you would, and she cut me off. She's like, no, obviously not Hamilton. We can't get tickets. There's no way. It's too much. It's crazy. We'll go see something else. There's a lot of good shows. And I said, fine. So she spent the last few weeks trying to figure out what show she would like to go see. What she doesn't know is I got Hamilton tickets. And the thing is, they're Hamilton tickets. I don't want to just hand them to her in an envelope. That's a huge thing. I wanted to make something. What I've got here is a really nice card from Papyrus. So the letter I'm gonna write her in the card is going to have references to Hamilton. And what I'd like it to say is this. I'd like it to say, Lindsay, best of wives and best of women, happy birthday. Sincerely, A.Ham. I'd like to write it in cursive to kind of fit the theme of the show, the historical period. Problem is, I haven't written cursive since I was in like 6th grade. So I've been going through, I had to Google how to write in cursive so that I can do it the way I want to in the card, because I've got one shot at this card. And now that I've done all of the practice, I'm still going to write it in pencil before going over it in my nice pen. Well, this is it. 2 tickets to Hamilton right here. Now all we have to do is wait for her birthday. I'm gonna try to film. I'm gonna try to do it without her noticing that I'm filming at all. I mean, if she does notice, it's no big deal. She's used to me vlogging and carrying cameras around and filming her and us all the time, but it'd be kind of cool if I could get away with it without her actually noticing that I'm filming, so. Happy birthday.
Thank you, love. Are you serious? Oh my god! What did you do?
It's a long story.
I know. Oh my god, we get to go, and you're gonna take the day off, or we're gonna go.
Yeah, it's already off. Nice and rainy.
Don't spill on the bed.
Yay! So we are in, it's good, right?
The best kind of wine is free wine.
Wine helps me drink.
Unfortunately, it is a little rainy today, might be a little rainy tomorrow in New York, but we're gonna make the most of it. You got up to actually watch the royal wedding.
I popped out of bed and watched it.
It was the royal wedding this morning.
10 of 7, I got up. When we talk about the wine, can you please put in a Linda Belcher moment, like of her being like, all right, or something, please?
Yeah.
Can you do that for
All
me?
right,
That's
well,
my one request.
hopefully at this point, you have already seen that clip. Good for future me.
Yay.
We ended up having ramen. We all got ramen, which was awesome. Very good. Spent like 3 hours at the restaurant, caught a lift back to the hotel, saw the...
About the ice cream, Brian?
The
What
ice cream?
was it?
I don't know, I didn't get ice cream. You got ice cream. You tell them about the ice cream.
So I tried the ice cream from there for the first time, and they had a royal wedding themed ice cream, like a special one. And since today was the royal wedding, I was like, I have to get that. So it had like elderflower, and it had lemon, and it had ginger, and it had like frosting in it and cake, and it was really good. And I wish I could have like brought some home, but I couldn't. Yeah, that's all I got.
Apparently the giant Disney store in Times Square is open until what, 1 a.m.?
Yep.
It's open until 1 a.m. So we're gonna go check out the Disney store. Because Disney. Morning of the show. We slept in. I'm gonna run out and find some coffee and Danish or a bagel or something for me and Linz before we have 12 o'clock noon reservation for a very nice brunch, and then the show's not till 3 o'clock.
It was so good. First of all, it was so fancy. I felt like a princess. And the food was really good. I had chicken and waffles for the first time. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so that was the garden or the gardens?
The garden, singular.
The garden
at the Four Seasons.
At the Four Seasons. We are in the fancy
We're coming right up to
part.
Madison Avenue.
We're gonna try to
go to Central Park.
Catch Central Park
because
real quick.
it's not raining, so it's very exciting.
I can't believe it. It's all week. It's been predicting thunderstorms and rain, and we're gonna try to catch Central Park real quick, and then head on back to the theater district for the show. Back in the smelly theater district. Quick stop back at the hotel, drop off our bags, and then head over to the show. This line goes around the corner for, I don't know, 4 miles. Before it gets too crazy up ahead in Times Square, what do you think? Thoughts? We waited 6 months. We've been waiting forever.
Hamilton cup.
You like your Hamilton cup?
All right.
So it's like 3 days after we saw Hamilton. The last thing you saw was us walking. What even was the last thing that you saw?
I was like, this cup is great.
Basically, what happened is that after we were done with seeing Hamilton, we were going through Times Square. It was too crazy to vlog, too many people. We got a quick bite at the Hard Rock Cafe, which was great. Always is. I mean, average food, but it's fun. It's Times Square. And then we grabbed our stuff and walked 20 minutes back to Grand Central, took the train, 2 hours, drove home an hour. So I just pretty much had my camera away for the rest of the day at that point. But since there was all this buildup, both in this video and for like 6 months waiting for Hamilton, we didn't want to end the video without talking about the show.
I thought it was good. Like, the stage was awesome with they had the concentric circles that would rotate, and we had good seats. I mean, like,
we did have good seats.
We were kind of we were up in the mezzanine, but it didn't really matter because in Broadway shows they just make it so that like all the seats are good seats.
And Broadway theaters, if you've never been, they're really small because they're really old.
So I wanted to see the guy that played Genie in Aladdin when we saw him.
They probably don't know that because that was before the vlog. So like 2 years ago, we saw the original Broadway cast of Aladdin.
Right.
Which was incredible. We never forget
We
that
don't need to
experience.
explain why we went to see Aladdin, because it's Aladdin. And I think they know about our love for Disney, correct? But like, we didn't know if he was gonna be in it or not, and I was excited, but trying not to get too excited, and then he wasn't in it, so I was like, okay. And they put a little slip of paper in the playbill that tells you if there's any like understudies or, you know, replacements when you're seeing it. So we were looking at that at the beginning, and I first looked for him, and then it was like, oh, he's not in it. I was kind of like, but it was fine. And then I kept looking, and there were like a lot of understudies. Now the most I think I've ever seen has been one.
I've seen
and
two.
I think rarely you could probably see two.
Yeah.
There were five somehow.
Five of the
And it wasn't like you know, like people you wouldn't care about. It was like all the major ones: Hamilton, Burr, Eliza, Angelica,
And
Lafayette / Jefferson. And they were good because like obviously they have to be, but also it was kind of like was not that great because like I had looked up like who's gonna play Eliza, Angelica, and Hamilton, and like I was really looking forward to the guy that's currently playing Hamilton, and he wasn't there. So I don't know. I still don't know what happened, and I feel like that's gonna be like a big question mark forever because like they can't all possibly be sick. I mean, they could, but
that was what
it seems unlikely.
I didn't say that in jest. I remember on the day of the show, I said maybe they all got the flu, and you kind of laughed. And I was like, oh, maybe they all got the flu, you know, like.
Yeah,
but
we know James, the guy playing Lafayette, was on vacation because I saw his Twitter.
Yeah, he was.
So
he was on vacation.
How dare he?
I
want a refund.
You know, like you said, so we were looking forward to this one particular guy because we've seen him before. He was amazing as the genie, and he wasn't there, and you knew there was a chance that there would be an understudy, and you're like, whatever. We were like, oh. And then it was like, okay, whatever. It's gonna be great. It's Hamilton. We've been waiting forever. Tickets cost $1 million. I mean, you know, it's the Broadway show like of the century, you know. And it's not that understudies aren't great. I mean, the understudies for Hamilton would be the leads in any other play, right? They're phenomenal actors in and of themselves. I think for me, the issue is that when there's an understudy, typically there's one of them, and the rest of the cast on stage with them are the regular cast who have relationships, and they've bonded, and they understand each other's characters and motivations as performers in that version of the play, whatever you're seeing. And when you get 5 of them, because there's like at least 2 or 3 understudies or standbys for every role, which means the odds of those 5 people having done Hamilton together are probably nil.
They probably have never all done together.
Right, exactly. The rhythm of the entire show is just a little off. Silver lining, whenever you do see an understudy, you kind of have a chance of seeing a star being born. The actor playing Burr, his name was Ryan Vasquez, I think, Vasquez. He played the part of Aaron Burr, the villain of the show, the villain of history, as it were, because it's a true story if you don't know Hamilton. But if you don't know Hamilton, you didn't make it 15 minutes into this video. Incredible. I don't know if you were as taken with him as I was, but I every time he was on the stage, I was just like, it was magnetic. Like, I couldn't wait for him to be back on. He had this little glimmer in his eye, this little swagger. Like, he looked like he had something to prove and was proving it. But I'm gonna follow his career now, and that's the potential upside of seeing an understudy. I just wish there hadn't been the entire cast. But I could spend a lot more time talking about all the things I loved about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on for hours about certain moments and certain songs and the way this actor did that, and getting to see the dancing, the power of the hip hop in a live setting versus listening to it on an album was amazing. The audience is so obsessed. Everybody's there. I feel like there were probably only 4 people in the audience who had not actually memorized the play already. I mean, it's their people, it's their audience. So the power of the show, getting to see it live, was amazing. The costuming was great. Getting to see, like you said earlier, the concentric stage and how
and you
that
were happy
moves
with the
around.
sound.
The sound was amazing, something
Yeah.
you guys know I care about, because a lot of you hear from my audio tutorials. Sound was impeccable. So, I mean, we could go on for hours about all the things we loved about it, but I just feel like there's always going to be this little asterisk next to it. Like, yeah, it was Hamilton and it was amazing. Lindsay just worked an entire day. It's late right now, so...
It's almost 9:40.
Yeah, it's like bordering on 10 o'clock, so I think we're going to turn in for the night.
I'm ready for pajamas, but he said I couldn't change until we do this video, so yay!
Anyway, thanks so much for sticking with me, guys, and always remember that our world is a shared experience.
Oh, we said it together.
Merch is coming very soon. Stay tuned. We got into the hotel, checked in, real smooth, and they're like, hey, free wine, so cheers to the trip.